Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So Joe Biden is up to his old, what you call it, butter biscuit tricks again. The scene shows that Monday, he had a whole Juneteenth party. Now, Juneteenth is a whole week away, but you got to plan it for when, you're free. So anyway, let's get into it because we're finna have a field day with this. This is from yahoo.com by way of the Hill, and it says Biden hosts Juneteenth celebration. Quote, White House's lawns never seen anything like this before. Wow. When did he say the same thing when he hosted all those elemental P people? But anyway, President Biden on Monday marked the upcoming Juneteenth holiday with a concert on the White House lawn, striking a celebratory note, even as he warned of GOP-led efforts to roll back rights for Black Americans. Already started off with the fear tactics about what the Republicans are going to do. But what I'm wondering is, what are the Democrats going to do for us since the Republicans are so much against us? You understand? So let's continue. Biden, Vice President Harris, second gentleman Doug Emhoff. Who is that? Is that her husband, Doug Emhoff? I don't know. And dozens of federal and state lawmakers gathered on the South Lawn for a concert that featured performances by Kirk Franklin. Wow. Gladys Knight. Wow. Trombone Shorty. Never heard of him. Dougie Fresh. Is Dougie Fresh at every dang on me event that you can think of? It seemed like this cat at the White House. He'd be on cruises. He'd be at Vegas. He'd be at at my homeboy picnic, at the barbecue, at the family reunion last. It's like Dougie Fresh is like everywhere. Amazing. That dude keeps himself relevant. That boy's paying bills, so I ain't mad at him. I bet you a lot of rappers hope that 30, 40 years after they come out with their first, damn, am I that old? Anyway, 30, 40 years after they come out with their first song, they still, doing gigs. Anyway, and Patti LaBelle. I wonder if she brought some of her patty pies. Quote, White House lawns never seen anything like this before, Biden remarked, calling it a fitting tribute to Juneteenth. Biden in 2021 signed legislation that made Juneteenth a federal holiday. The holiday marked the end of slavery in the United States. It is celebrated each year on June 19th, which is when the last enslaved Africans in Galveston, Texas, learned of their emancipation. Funny thing is, down here in Texas, we've been celebrating Juneteenth forever. Really not understanding why it's a national holiday, because nationally, you think slavery would have been, celebrated when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, because every state didn't get, I guess, the memo on that day, but that's the day it was signed. So legally, it's kind of like going to court, kind of like going to child support court, and the judge signs off saying this is how much child support you're going to pay. But then it takes weeks, months, maybe hell, a couple of more court hearings or whatever, depositions, whatever you want to call it, that you got to go to before the judge actually signs that paper and stamps it and turns it in, and then you got to backtrack it. Then like you in arrears from day one. It's like, how the hell am I in arrears? I just been waiting for this to be signed, and all y'all taking out is $10, and then you said you was gonna take out $20, and y'all don't take that number serious. I'm just using that because there's no way in hell I would pay only $10. I pay that just by waking up looking at my kids. So anyway, but it's $20, but it takes you 3 months for it to go through, and then once it go through, now I'm in arrears for $30. Like, I'm in arrears for like $30. Like, really? Starting out bad credit, but that's how the system go. But you can look at some of my older videos. I can explain all this to you. But anyway, so you can do that. Just say, hey, you're freed on this day, was January 1st, whatever. By the time y'all figure it out 2.5 years later, hell, if you've been a slave for 2.5 years, slave on owe you some back pay, owe you some land or something. Anyway, let's keep going. Amid the jubilation and dancing at the White House, Biden warned of old ghosts in new garments trying to take us back. Uh-oh. There go them fear tactics. Taking away your freedoms, making it harder for Black people to vote or have your vote counted, closing doors of opportunity, attacking the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you can believe it, banning books about Black experiences. Biden said, let me tell you something about everything in that paragraph. Everything in that paragraph sounds good, but when you get older and supposedly wiser, and you actually, use your brain for something other than, TikTok and Instagram all the time, you realize that who cares about that? Because when you make a way for yourself and you become as I like to say, productive member of society, going to work, paying your taxes, paying your bills, not becoming a problem, not becoming an issue to the world. Black folks, especially the older Black people, I would really, I'm talking about the older, like the what you call it, Jim Crow civil rights era. I think they would understand the importance of helping yourself. Because we always talk about the history of our people and how we did this, did that. Couldn't nobody hold us back. Was never no problem. You know what I'm saying? It was like the white folks always try to hold us back, but we knew how to, persevere, endure, arise above. Like when we needed schools and they wouldn't let us in their schools. Okay, we're gonna figure out a way to get books. We're gonna figure out a way to teach ourselves. Some of those abolitionists and stuff may be helping us, and that's fine. We understand that, but in the grand scheme of things, they can't help us unless we want to help ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? So we knew how to, build school. Like I said about Langston University, the community raised money to help build Langston University. So we used to have our own towns. We do whatever we need to do. All the thing about it is, what we do is we figure out, we say, okay, like if it comes to voting, then we go down and vote, right? We make sure we get down and vote. Make sure you got people in legislation that's going to help us, keep us able to vote. But as long as there's somewhere to vote, like I say, Langston University might be in Oklahoma, but you got people from all around going to that school. It may not been a Black college in California, it may not been one in Dallas, New York, what have you. But if you say, hey, it's one in Oklahoma. If you really want to go to school, all right, your family raised money, got your bus ticket, put your clothes in a bag and sent you down there. If you was accepted and did everything they could to make sure you went to that school. My point, and that's my point, we've gone to the ways of the fear mongering. We've failed for it. A lot of our folks have failed for it. And we forgot that, hey, there's a lot of things that we can do ourselves. Like saying, make it harder for Black people to vote. Okay, find me, where do I need to go to vote? Okay, check it out. I'll drive there and I'll go vote. What? I need a voter's registration card. I need an ID. I got ID. I got an ID, got a passport. I got credit card. What else I got? Social security card. I got all that. You should, by this time, people like to say, oh man, it's 2024. I can't believe it's racism. What, man, the hell, it's 2024. I can't believe nobody has a state ID from high school on up. Can't believe it. Because if you don't, then hell, you probably don't even need to be voting for nobody because you missing this basic needs of life in this country. But somehow they stopping you from voting. But if you done live this long and done so much and you ain't got a driver's license, shit, you ain't trying to vote anyway. But anyway, like I say, that right there can't stop me from voting. Reading books, I can go on Amazon and order books all day, as you can see behind me. And like I say, I got a whole shelf here, whole shelf in the room, in the bedroom. I get books all the time from Amazon. Go to Half Price Bookstore. That's still around? I don't know. Anyway, I can get books from anywhere and learn. You know what I'm saying? Watch videos, read articles. They mention a book. Shoot, most of the time I'm buying. And who knows when I'll get around to read that particular book, but I will. But that's just how I do for myself. So them banning books about the Black experience, too many books out there, too many ways to get them books. Forget the schools. Start your own school. Like I said, Langston University, start your own school, homeschool. I say, try to erase and rewrite history. Continue. Our history is not just about the past. It's about our present and our future. It's whether that future is the future of all of us or not just for some of us. Well, you trying to wipe us out with them migrants. So come on, they sound hypocritical. The White House announced new initiatives to preserve Black history earlier Monday, just days before Juneteenth. The president and his re-election campaign have repeatedly credited Black voters with securing Biden's victory in 2020. Last month, the president visited Philadelphia, where he specifically sought to contrast his record of investing in Black community with that of former President Trump. So the Black community helped him get elected. But as we're saying, well, But what has the Democrats actually done for the black community as a whole? Not as everybody in America, but as just specifically for black Americans. Because it's funny how everybody can hold us back, but the Democrats have no power to stop any of that. It's amazing how that works. But y'all can be bipartisan on giving money to Ukraine. You can be bipartisan on letting the migrants in. Well, you got the power to let the migrants in. You can be bipartisan to get an anti-hate crime bill to the AAPI people. But you have no power to just giving black folks, because, well, first of all, it can't be by race. That's one thing we know. You can't do anything with race. It's got to be lineage based. So we try to keep the race out of it. And if we can do that, then we can probably get a whole lot more. But because we just haven't acted on it, because should we know it? Even us common lay people know this. So if we know this, hell, the damn politicians know this. And the lawyers know this. So why in the heck it seems like that they can't even, figure out how to way to get black Americans things to get us back, get us to where we need to be, because we know there's been racially reasons. And I've done videos about that too. And everybody done videos about that, of how they've done things to keep us, pretty much in poverty, or just not to have the same things that white Americans have gotten. I'm not saying every white American is rich, but heck, they're controlling most of the money. But this is funny. Kurt Franklin up here dancing with Kamala Harris. Man, he's a weird dude anyway. I don't see how in the heck he can be. Anyway, Christian songs, him anyway. What did it say? Let me see. Where was I at? A poll published last month, conducted by the New York Times, Center College, and the Philadelphia Inquirer, found Biden leading Trump among black voters 63% to 23%, which would be a significant decrease from his 2020 margins. And that was so last month was May. Amazing. But let's go back up here to, I want to see this announced new initiatives, because that's what they're saying. We're going to go back. This is To The Hill, directly from thehill.com. And it says, Biden touts, because I want to know what the hell are they doing for Black America. So let's see. Biden touts efforts to preserve Black history ahead of Juneteenth. It says the White House on Monday announced new initiatives to preserve Black history just days before Juneteenth. President Biden recognized Juneteenth as a federal holiday in 2021. The day commemorates when the last enslaved Africans in Galveston, Texas learned of their emancipation. He says it's not about it says it's not about a national holiday or a day off work. It really is to commemorate a moment in time in our history. G.R.O.W.T.H, domestic policy advisor to the president, said from the White House on Monday. We know that history is under attack, Tandon continued. There are forces in our country who want to erase aspects of our history. Fundamentally, these attacks are about changing our history. It's funny how they using words like a freaking comic book, like an Avengers movie, or forces. We are under attack, like aliens are coming in and attacking American people, and there's nothing we can do about it. Hell, every dang gone movie, every comic book, and when somebody's under attack, everybody bands together and fights together against the common enemy. So if the Republicans are the common enemy, why are Democrats not doing more to fight to make sure that we get and keep everything as human beings? It's funny because they feel like they just can't do anything, and woe is me, but we need your help. You always had our help. We need your help. If we don't get your help, like, hey, it's either my way or no way, and no way is fine. Shout out to, what was that? I can't think of the guy that says that, but man, I like that saying. We know that history is under attack, Tandon continued. There are forces in our country who want to erase the aspect of history. Fundamentally, these attacks about changing our history. Under the new initiatives, Tandon said the White House will work to expand access to Black history. One way would be through, how to expand access to Black history is to get your black tail up and read a book. Go to the public libraries. I know down in Waxahachie, they have an African-American museum. Take your kids down there to look to it. Yeah, it's small, but it's something. You know what I'm saying? Fair Park got like an African-American museum. I'm talking about the Dallas area. Go there, take your kids there. If you in the hood, that means you're on a bus line. Bus line your butt to South Dallas to Fair Park. You go there for the Gremlins Prairie View game. Go down there and take your kids down there to the African, I guess it's called the African American Museum. I forgot the name of it, but I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Been to the one in Waxahachie. So I'm saying it's like there's access. You don't have to. Let's say like when you're growing money or you're growing a business, you're not just going to wake up one day and make $1 million. You're not going to wake up one day and just have 1 million customers. It takes time to build, and you got to start small without the help of the folk, because the folk has just been dragging this along for decades. Like say since civil rights, even Reconstruction, way back then, and we still in the same position, you know, compared to the rest of the world to where we're at. So it takes small steps. So no, you ain't got to make sure that every person in the world is reading about Black history, but you can start somewhere, and then you teach one and teach another and teach another to where it's growing to where everybody is doing it. You know what I'm saying? On their own, and because when you get the knowledge yourself and you go out and seek it yourself, to me, you appreciate it more. It says, okay, one way is through the National Endowment for Humanities, which will establish a nationwide program that celebrates Juneteenth and promotes Black history and culture leading up to next year's holiday. The program will include new funding in all 50 states to support reading and discussion programs, interactive workshops about the legacy of slavery and emancipation, and classroom-ready Juneteenth content for K through 12 teachers. They don't even teach regular curriculum. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? That's fine and thank you, but I'm not even tripping on that. I'm like, let's first teach our kids how to read. Let's stop doing stuff. Let's stop putting in the forefront things that's really going to like scare little Black kids into what used to be and what could possibly be if you don't get yourself right, but yet you're not learning basic education. We got to put the horse before the cart, like seriously. And again, I am probably one of the most pro-Black people you would probably ever met, especially back, like I say, back since junior high. And like I say, you can look at my literature behind me and you can tell and you can believe and you can know what I'm saying is true. But also, basic education got to be first. You got to put basic education, I'll say biblical teachers on how to teach people, always got to be number one. Number one. Then alongside with learning about Black history, but like we're talking about like 1, A, B, and C, like right all together, but you gotta include it all. Because if you miss any of it, man, you are like destined for failure, and that is true. These latest steps come as state schools and districts have begun to limit what teachers can instruct. Hell, teachers don't teach anything anyway, so why would I be surprised they're not teaching about Black history? Since January 21, 44 states have introduced bills or taken steps that would limit how teachers can discuss racism and sexism. Why? Why are they even teaching that part? According to an analyst, why you put that together? I'm tripping. According to an analyst by Education Weekly analysis, schools have also begun to ban what types of books can be taught. Many books, such as Toni Morrison's award-winning Beloved, delved into the horrifying realities of slavery. To combat these bans and limitations, the U.S. Department of Education named a coordinator to respond to book bans in order to support public school communities and understand civil rights impact that book restrictions have and the circumstances under which such restrictions can violate federal civil laws. Look at here, man. Like I said, don't want to read all this. What does it say? Juneteenth would also be recognized as one of the 3 days of holidays, 3 national days of action on voting. These 3 days will focus on providing voters with the necessary information on how, where, and when to vote. Very good. It would also encourage students to register and cast their ballots amid and aims to counter voter suppression tactics. I think most people shouldn't even vote anyway. Like I said, if you ain't got a driver's license or ID card right now, you probably don't need to vote. You probably ain't pay attention to politics anyway. You just voting because you don't like Trump. And I'm gonna get into that in another story. Both Biden and former Trump are courting Black voters ahead of November. And that's why I said I wouldn't even vote for Biden. I'm just gonna be honest, because you've had damn near 4 years to get it right with Black people, and you wait as right on time, right on cue, right during election year, right a few months before it's time to go vote, to play to our fears and needs. If y'all are old enough to remember Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard fight. The world believes Marvin Hagler won the fight. I think even Sugar Ray Leonard, because he really didn't say that he didn't, but I think even he believed Marvin Hagler won the fight as a whole. But he said, hey, my corner, in this corner, the plan was, to hold off, run, dance, do all the kind of stuff, excite the crowd, excite the fans, get into the fans' head. And then with like 30 seconds left in each round, go in there and just start fighting, barrage of fights. And people would eat that up. And that's how he ended up winning that fight. And Marvin Hagler retired because he's like, man, this is bullcorn. He said, I beat the crap out of this little man and gave him everything he wanted, still beat him, and he win. He knew what it was. Sugar Ray Leonard knew how to play for the crowd. Same thing here with politics. They dance around all year, all 3 years, 3.5 years, doing nothing for you. And then 30 seconds before it's time to vote, here they come throwing a barrage of things, because that's the last thing people remember, those last 30 seconds of that round. So the last thing people going to remember is those last few months right before voting. And that's all they're doing. It's a tactic. So like I said, but to me, I see through it. So I'm like, man, like I said, it's too late. If you ain't done it by now, you ain't going to impress me unless you just do a full knockout that to where a person cannot get up, to where it's like, look, here are your reparations. Here's everybody. Here you go. Everybody's call. We're taking everybody to go down and get driver license, and we're going to come to your house and take your picture. Everything's straight, done, set in stone, can't be changed. There you go. That's the only way that you're going to get my vote, because there's no return from that, and everything is already set in stone. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, man. Let's dialogue, let's have a conversation. You know how we do it around here. Hey, don't forget to support the channel. There are 4 ways you can support. Don't cost you a dime. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 ways, like I say, free, on thing cost you all is maybe a couple minutes out your day. But if you do want to support monetarily, you can give super thanks, super chats, or go to the description box, click on links there. You can give that way. But with that being said, hey, I appreciate how you support, any way you support. I appreciate it, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.